Right, the next three problems we have here are writing equations, so writing linear equations, and then we have to solve them here. So keep in mind that whenever we have a word problem, we want to figure out what we're trying to find and what information do we know, okay? So in this word problem, we've got Rita who bought some books for $3 each and received a discount of $6 off her total purchase. She spent $45 after the discount. How many books did she buy? So the question is, how many books did she buy? So we're trying to find the books, right? And from everything before that, she said Rita bought the books were $3 each. So books were $3 each. And they received a discount. So discount on the cost of $6. And ultimately, the ending price ended with $45. She spent $45 after the discount. Okay, so let's just turn what we know, let's turn this into some algebraic expressions, right? If we say books, each book was $3, hopefully you remember that the word each is multiplication. So I'm multiplying 3 with the books. I'm multiplying 3 with books. How do I write 3 times books? 3 times books is 3 times books, or 3b, right? We know that when we mush together a coefficient and a variable, when we mush it together, that is signifying multiplication. So books being $3 each would be 3b. Okay, and then there was a discount on this price. A discount means I'm taking away money from the total. So discount of $6 would mean I'm subtracting 6. And lastly, we ended up with $45. So our equation here is going to be 3b minus 6 equals 45, right? And now we just have to solve. So this is a two-step equation. I'm trying to get b alone. I hopefully know that I'm going to get rid of the minus 6 first. By doing the inverse, which would be to add 6. Simplifying here, I didn't do anything with the 3b, so I'm going to take it down. Negative 6 and positive 6, that goes to 0. And 45 plus 6 is going to be 51. And lastly, to get rid of this 3 is being mushed against b, so that is multiplication. So to undo, the inverse of multiplying 3 would be to divide 3. Okay, and then 3b divided by 3 is just 1b, or just b. 51 divided by 3 is going to be 17. So now we know b is how many books she bought. So 17, she bought 17 books. I'm just going to write that here. 3b minus 6 was $45, and she bought 17 books in all. And of course, we could take 17 and substitute that for b, replace it with b, and then just verify that 3 times 17 minus 6 is 45, which it is. Okay, next word problem here. We've got the length of a rectangle is 7 yards longer than its width. If the perimeter of the rectangle is 58, find its length and width. So what are we trying to find? The length, L. So we're going to say length is L because we're trying to find it. And width is W because that's what we're trying to find. So we have to assign it a variable. Now, there's so much that you don't, maybe you don't realize, so much information that we're being given. So we're talking about a rectangle. When we're talking about a shape, I always want to visualize it. So we have a rectangle, which I'm going to label. It's got width and it's got length. The longer side of the rectangle is the length. And it's saying the length of a rectangle is 3 longer than its width. So how do I write 3 longer than width? 3 than the width. 3 longer. So it's more than the width, right? 3 more than the width. So the length is 3 plus W. And then what else do we know? We know that the perimeter is 58 yards. Now, what do we know about perimeter? We do have to know what perimeter is and how to find it. So perimeter is is around the shape. So if I were trying to find the perimeter of this rectangle, that would be length plus width plus length plus width. But even better than writing length plus width plus length plus width, I can also write 2 lengths plus 2 widths. So essentially, we're just adding up all the sides of the rectangle. So we have a very rough equation here. Okay, so we got P equals 2L plus 2W. Now let's take this and, okay, great, there's different colors, and fill in some of this information that we know. Well, we know that, oh, I thought this was a highlighter. Anyways, I'll just use a different color. Well, we know that perimeter P is 58. So we're going to replace P with 58. And we know that length is 3 plus W. So we're going to replace length with 3 plus W. And then width is just width because we don't know anything else about the width, okay? But it looks like we have an equation here to solve, okay? So to solve, we're going to go ahead and split the equation at the equal sign. Looking to the left, 58 is all as much as simplified as it's going to get. But looking to the right, I've got parentheses. So I know that if I have parentheses, right, with variables, to get rid of the parentheses, we're going to go ahead and distribute. I'm doing 2 times 3, which is 6, and 2 times W, which is the same as 2 times 1W, is 2W. And then I'll take this, I'm going to bring this 2W down. Okay, now that I've distributed, I still don't have the left side completely simplified because I have like terms here. I've got W and a W, right? 2W and 2W, they're like terms. I can combine them. So I'm combining 2 and 2. That makes 4W. Now, this is just a 2-step equation from here. So I want to get W alone. So I'm going to get rid of the 6 first. The 6 minus 6, that goes away, and I'm going to bring down the 4W. And lastly, to get W completely alone, I have to get rid of this multiplication of 4. So I'm going to divide 4. And we end up with 12.5 equals W. So what did that answer? That answered the width. The width is 12.5, but thinking back, the fact that we need the width and length, okay? Do we know anything else about length? Sure we do. Yep, we know that the length is 3 plus W. So since we know that W, the width, is 12.5, if we add 3 to that, that'll give us our length. So our length is 15.5 and our width is 12.5. Fine, go, let me see. Must have made a mistake somewhere. So perimeter is 58, 2 length is 6, 2, 2W, 4W, 58 minus 6 is 52. Oh, I didn't subtract. My bad here. Should have. I did. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about the little mistake. So from here to over here, I changed that to a 6, but it's actually 58 minus 6, which is 52. And then when we divide by 4, that is 13. But this is 13. That's the width. The width is 13. And 13 plus 3 is 16. So the width is 13 and the length is 16. My bad there. All right. Going on to number 8. Last word problem here, I think. We went over this in class, but let's go ahead and just break this one down. So let's figure out what we're trying to find first, okay? So we've got on Friday, a local hamburger shop sold a combined total of 243 hamburgers and cheeseburgers. The number of cheeseburgers sold was 2 times the number of hamburgers sold. How many hamburgers were sold on Friday? Okay, so we're trying to find hamburgers. So H hamburgers. But there is something else that was mentioned here that we don't exactly know what it is. We're gonna say C cheeseburgers, okay? Because we don't necessarily know a ton about the cheeseburgers. So let's go through what else we know from this word problem, right? So on Friday, a local hamburger shop sold a combined total of 243 hamburger and cheeseburgers, right? So whenever we see total, the word total, it means we are adding two things that have a sum of that number. So in this case, we're adding hamburgers and cheeseburgers, and we have a total, a sum of 243. Okay? So now we have a rough equation, okay? What else do we know from this word problem? It says the number of cheeseburgers sold has 2 times the number of hamburgers, okay? So cheeseburgers, we know something about cheeseburgers, okay? So it says that cheeseburgers was 2 times the number of hamburgers, or 2 times hamburgers, or 2 times H, or 2 times H is just 2H, right? So now we have an equation to work with. We have H plus 2H equals 243, and we can use this equation to find hamburgers, H, right? So I split the equation at the equal sign. The right side is already as simplified as it can get, but on the left side, I do have like terms. I have H and I have 2H. Now the invisible number here in front of H is 1, so I'm going to combine 1 and 2, which is 3. So that's 3H equals 243. And to get rid of this multiplication of 3, I'm just going to divide by 3. And so H is 81. So there were 81 hamburgers sold. And that's our answer. And if I wanted to, bonus, if I wanted to find out how many cheeseburgers there were, well, they said cheeseburgers is 2 times hamburgers. So cheeseburgers is 2 times 81, which would be 162. Just, bonus for you. I think we're going to stop there with the word problems.